So I can still remember very clearly the moment that I got my phone call accepting me into Ball State University. And you just stand there and you think, oh my God, they want me. They really want me. And you never forget that moment because it's the last time that you will ever think that. Because you get here and suddenly it seems like you were the worst mistake they ever made and they want nothing to do with you. And I will never forget, the first time I had that thought, I was sitting in my very first office hour with the professor here, and he stared at me for a few seconds and looked at me and said, "You are surprisingly weak. I have the worst apprehension that you don't crave my attention, but I can't force you to change your taste. If you don't care to be nice, dear, then give me air but not ice, dear. Don't let a good fellow go to waste. For this little sin that you commit at leisure, you'll repent in haste." And it sort of continues across your 4 years here. I have heard lots of things, not only critiquing my performance, but critiquing, seems to be, myself as a human. I have heard that I'm not really a leader, but a lot more of a follower. I've heard that I'm not nearly competitive enough to ever survive in this business. I have heard that I seem to understand what acting isn't, but not really what acting is. And my personal favorite, I will never be successful as a dancer because of my scoliosis. If my heart gets in your hair, you mustn't kick it around. If you're bored with this affair, you mustn't kick it around. Even though I'm mild and meek, when we have a brawl, if I turn the other cheek, you mustn't kick it at all. And then, of course, there are the times that my performances were critiqued, and I heard things like, pretty good, considering. And I heard, oh, you try too hard to be liked. And my personal favorite, that sounded like it hurt. When I try to ring the bell, you never care for the sound. When I turn the other cheek, you mustn't kick it around. Now, of course, I understand that our teachers here really are looking out for our best interests, and everything they say to us helps us grow as performers and individuals. But the words also leave little scars that take a while to heal. And nothing reminded me of that more clearly than this summer. I was having coffee with one of my teachers here that I had a close relationship with. And we were talking about the singing actor class she taught. And she said, you know, that first song I gave you, you understood exactly what I wanted you to do, but you just couldn't do it. And I laughed about it because it had been, over a year since that happened. But then a couple months later, I was asked to go to the Columbia Club and sing that song as an opening act for Betsy Wolfe and Adam Cantor. And as it got closer to that performance, I just kept hearing, you just couldn't do it, over and over again. So, with less than 24 hours to go before this performance, I decided the more logical solution was to scratch that song and instead learn a new song that I did not know the words or lyrics to, force Jonna to learn it in less than 24 hours, and perform that instead, because the wound was still just too fresh.
Oh my God.
Even though I'm mild and meek when we have a brawl, if I turn the other cheek, you mustn't kick it at all. When I try to ring the bell, you never care for the sound. The next guy might not do so well, you mustn't kick it